Hi there YouTubers and Predator fans. It's been a while since my last video, but just had to share this amazing piece I got yesterday. Now the whole story behind this, this was something I wanted ever since it was released, but unfortunately it sold out very quickly, and only limited amounts came to Australia. So I just didn't think anything of it, thought I missed it, and thought I'd just move on and keep collecting other stuff. I pre-ordered the Predator 2 exclusive, the Marquette, and was paying that off every month for 12 months, just about, and we got notified a couple of weeks ago that that was cancelled or delayed, and they might put it up for order at a later stage or date. So I was very disappointed at that. I got my refund from this, and I decided to have a crack at seeing if I can find one. As I said, they are very rare down here in Australia. So I put a post up on Facebook asking if anyone had one. A Facebook friend referred me to a seller or a guy that had one who hadn't posted it, and I started PMing him, and it all went from there, and in a week's time, here it is. So very lucky to be able to find one. I've actually tried to buy off other sellers when they've popped up, but the competition trying to get these is just unbelievable. You think you make a deal, other people swoop in, PM the seller, I suppose offer them a lot more and things like that. It's just, and I've even had sellers ring me or message me and just say, my phone's not stopped buzzing. There's just so many people after them, so I'm absolutely amazed that I finally have it in the collection and out here now. I have no idea where I'm going to put it, but I'll worry about that later. And I'm just so over the moon that I've been able to get one. It's very surreal that I have this. It still hasn't sunk in. Alright, we'll go take a look at some of his parts first that he comes with. I won't really do a review, there's plenty of reviews out there at the moment. Just give you guys more of a showcase or a look at this piece a couple of years on. Now it retailed down here for $2,500, so it is a very pricey piece. And in the aftermarket now it's even higher. You're lucky to get it for a little bit higher than that. Very lucky if you find it down here. There's some on eBay for $4 grand, $5 grand US plus. And if I was to buy one of those, the conversion rate plus customs, shipping, it'd be $6,000 to get this piece now down here in Australia. So the deal I made feels very good. As I said, I got my refund for the Predator 2 Marquette. I sold 3 Iron Man 3 Hot Toys figures and put a little bit towards this, so it didn't feel too bad in the end. I'm very happy with that decision and how much I paid. It's always a little bit of a shock shelling out so much money, but now I can sit back and enjoy this. It's well worth it. You get the stand for the spare sculpt. Here's the mask sculpt. Get all the quills on it. That just slots on. It has like a little pin that goes through that. The dreads are all sort of sculpted, but they are slightly flexible. So that's something to keep an eye on. And keep an eye on the quills also. It's another thing you should be careful if you have this piece. The box is absolutely massive, and I won't show you that, but it's basically similar colour and sort of print design as this booklet here, the assembly booklet. This booklet wasn't even opened. The seller kept very good care of this, or took very good care. Nothing was broken on it. It's completely immaculate. Even had the shipper box. The whip hadn't even been posed. Here's the open spear. Got the hand sculpted on it. Has the magnet as well. It's quite large. That looks very good on him, looking from the side. Front on I prefer the whip. I'll get into that a little bit later. Here's the magnificent base. Got the dead alien warrior on the ground. It's absolutely huge. You've got the gloss dome, the ridge look, cut off arm. The pin in the foot slides through this, so it is quite sturdy. This thing is solid. It weighs an absolute ton. And it's amazing how this piece here can support it. They must have designed it with a certain center of gravity, but the weight and pressure on that worries me a little bit, but people assure me that it's okay. Oh man, this is awesome. Second day in, I still can't believe I have it. The guts and the blood are extremely well done. Looks like it's just freshly oozing out. The pose on this, looking at pictures earlier on, pictures don't do this full justice. Until you see this in hand, it's amazing how different it looks from pictures. So I'm gonna get back there for you guys. As I said, the whip's posable. Absolutely huge. And the hand here is sculpted and slots in via magnet. The bottom part of this spear, or sorry, the whip is sculpted to the hand, but the front, because it's rubber and posable, slots in here. And that sort of bends a bit. So this is not polystone, but the bottom part is. You get the closed shurikens. You get his closed whip. You could probably remove that if you had to, but I wouldn't. It seems to be looped around a certain amount of times and set in place. Seems to be real leather, sort of the skirt. His med kit is a separate, his cleaner kit's a separate piece. You can slot that on. The closed spear slots in on the side. The two shoulder cannons on the top and on the left and right hand sides, they can pivot slightly. The dreads get in the way, so you can't really move them too much, but they slot in. They don't articulate under here, but pivot where you slot them in. You get his bandolier with all his numerous pouches. See if I can get a bit of a close-up for that. Got all his mines on it. You have to put that on yourself before the head. Get his skull necklace. Once again, you have to put that on before you put the head on. And here's one of his shoulder cannons. You can see it sort of, you can turn it slightly. Don't want to turn it too much in case I bump the dreads. And here is the awesome open sculpt. Sorry, so I'm going to zoom in on that. You've even got that really nicely coloured eye. You can sort of see that same eye but clouded over. So that's really well done. Got the veins and the gloss in the mouth. Quills are done really well. Just like the dreads, they're slightly flexible, but that's the one thing to look out for on this sculpt, is keep your fingers well away from those when you're trying to put the head on. And once you do put the head on, you've got to sort of maneuver the dreads around all the pieces on his back. So just be very careful doing that. The other closed shuriken around his waist there. Paint up's great. I understand why this is a grail piece for a lot of people. It is very well done, and a lot of just standard. I've talked to a few guys who just collect purely Sideshow statues, and they have upwards of 50 to 100 of them, and they all say this is Sideshow's best. And I can see why now. It's absolutely incredible. And just the weight of it, putting the Predator into the base, it is solid. It's not hollow and cheap at all. Now, it probably makes more sense to put the helmet, the mask sculpt on with the spear. That way you have his double shoulder cannons, his spear out, the whip on his leg there. So you have all these weapons available, and you probably take the small spear off the back there, and that would be more movie accurate. But I like the stylized version here with the open sculpt, the whip, even though he does have it on the side. Doesn't matter, I don't really mind him having two out. The spear, I get to have it on his backpack. And with the whip also, it sort of complements the base. Of course, the alien has been cut by the whip. So, there's a couple ways you can go about doing it. This is my favourite look here, out of all the options you have. I was also speaking to a few collector buddies who congratulated me on getting this, and they said, I asked them how rare it was, because I heard rumours that it was in the 200s. It's an open edition, but as I said earlier, it ended very, very quickly, and I didn't even get a chance to pre-order it. So I looked on Sideshow Freaks, and they said roughly in the high 200s. I asked a few collector buddies on Predator Alien Collectors on Facebook, and they seemed to think they were going to do 500, but 288 were made, and quite a few sort of arrived broken. So they stopped the production run, and those that arrived broken were not even offered replacements. So it stopped all of a sudden. I don't know why. So they reckon there was around probably 250 worldwide, and that's not including any others that were probably broken or arrived in bad shape. But I'm very happy mine's immaculate, not a blemish or chip at all. And just mentioning how I said how hard it is to find this in Australia and how many people are after it. I posted that ad on Facebook trying to get it, found a seller that had it, and even on my own post, other people were trying to say they wanted one as well, jumped on board. That buddy of mine that linked me to the seller, even those other people on the page started messaging that seller as well, even on my post. So that's how sought after and how sort of cutthroat it is to try and get one of these. But thankfully the seller was true to his word. He was a very good bloke. He kept his word and was very trustworthy. Organised to come over in a week's time to pick it up. Had to sell a few things. Turned up. Very nice guy. Helped me box it back up. Did the deal, and here it is. And then as soon as I posted pics on Facebook, when I got home, I even had people offering to buy it off me when I just got it, and asking how much and where I got it from, so on. So it's just crazy, and so glad I have it. I don't know why it took so long to order it, but I feel like if I didn't act then, I wouldn't have this piece now. That was my one and only shot. So the Predator 2 cancellation was a blessing in disguise. But yet again, hopefully they do pre-order that or put it up on the site at a later stage, because I still do want that. But in the meantime, here is the badass Wolf Pred in all his glory, and I am stoked, absolutely over the moon. Can't look away, and I still have no idea where it's going to go. I do not want to rebox this. It's staying out. It's just in my living room area here at the moment until I figure out what to do with it. And the wife, she's coming around to being a fan of my collectibles, but for many years she hasn't. And she just came in and said, get it, when she saw pics of it. And at the price, I was very surprised she'd agreed for me to pay that much. And as soon as she saw this, she was like, wow. and she hasn't been able to stop looking at it either. So I now understand why people call this a grail. They say it's the grail of all Predator statues, and understandably, being as rare as it is, probably less than 250 out there. And I'm a happy man, that's for sure. And I thank you all of those who are watching this who helped me secure this, because I'm sure they'll watch it at some stage. There it is, guys. Hope you enjoyed this look at the Wolf Predator Legendary Scale figure by Sideshow Collectibles. It's been a while since I reviewed a few figures, so I have about 20 in the collection since my last review. So in the coming weeks I'll start getting back to it and putting stuff up on YouTube. So if you're into my stuff, stay tuned. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Bye for now.